Today, so the Warriors, they are going to look a little bit different this season. It will be the first year that they will start without Klay Thompson on their roster since 2010. One half of the Splash Brothers, Golden State, his career ended with a sign-and trade that sent Thompson, of course, to the Dallas Mavericks. And the Warriors did acquire Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson in that trade, and Golden State also signed DeAnthony Melton as a free agent. But they found little help in the draft. They did not have a first-round pick, remember. So is this enough for Steph Curry becomes the question. The all-time leader in threes signed a one-year extension and is entering his 16th season. The pressure to maximize the window Steph has, Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy already laying out his plays and his plans for the season. Take a listen.
There's no point in going all in to be slightly above average. When you go all in, you got to feel like you're all in. Be as impatient as a franchise as you can be right now, given our time horizon and all that. But there's a fine line between impatience and undiscipline. And I feel good about the discipline that we held this summer and the roster we built and the growth from within that we're going to have. And so we're in a good spot heading this year. And I know everybody's always looking for big headline breaking news and all that, but I really like this team.
So Golden State finished outside the playoffs in 2024 with their 46 wins, and Kevin Pelton and his metrics projected them to be in the same area in 2025. But Bobby Marks, what are the Warriors' roster options this season?
Well, when you traded Klay Thompson, it gave you some roster flexibility, and I think the impatience of Mike Dunleavy, I think you're looking at probably like a 30-day game scenario as far as how you can evaluate the roster. The big thing for me, Malika, these are some things to keep an eye on. Certainly October 21st, that is when Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are extension eligible. That is the deadline. If neither player are extended, certainly both players could be trade candidates during the season. The other thing is December 15th. That is the first day when DeAnthony Melton, Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, those three players can be trade eligible. The expiring contracts of Gary Payton and Kevon Looney, keep an eye on them. And then here's the X factor. As much as Steph Curry and certainly Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins. Do we see the 2022 version of Andrew Wiggins, the player that averaged 17 points a game? But Malika, when Mike Dunleavy talked, he talked about impatience here. And I know Steph Curry is under contract for the next three years, but when you have an MVP candidate like Curry, you have to maximize that window right now, not within that 3-year span.
Yeah, Bobby, come on back here, because I want to talk a little bit about what exactly does impatience mean here, because the Warriors, they have a couple of options, but the West is tough, and Steph's career, it's not going to last forever. So let's bring Kendrick Perkins back into the conversation here. Chiney Ogwumike. Perk, what does impatient mean to you when you hear that?
I don't know, but look, Steph is in the same category with LeBron. Every single time he's ready to go full strength, you're supposed to do your job of putting the pieces around him so he can go contend and try to win a title. Look, you can't have it with Steph Curry is always bringing chicken to the table and you bringing carrots. It just don't add up. You know what I mean? You got to match his appetite. You got to match his appetite. His appetite is winning championships. Is this a championship level roster? Absolutely not. Do I have faith and hope that Jonathan Kuminga and Podziemski, are they going to get better? Yes, they're going to get better, but it's a tough Western Conference. It's a tough league overall. The East has gotten better, and so Steph wants to win. The happiest I've seen Steph in the last 2 years is when he just won the gold medal and on the Olympic team. He was happy. He hasn't been happy in the Golden State Warrior uniform. That's just my opinion.
This is a big deal because this is a departure from what we've known Golden State always to be. Impatience, that's a different MO because we've known the Golden State Warriors to be truly developmental, right? That got them their dynasty. Steph, Klay, Draymond building together, skill development, even Jonathan Kuminga falling under that type of pattern. But now they're impatient. And to me, that means they have to capitalize on Steph Curry's prime. What he's able to do is still tremendous as a shooter, but also most importantly, Steph Curry is a draw. Players want to play with Steph because they thrive in systems in which Steph plays. He's also the type of personality that people love to play with. So if you're going to be able to have a talent like that, a generational talent, you need to be able to keep him happy. And we all know Steph, as we just saw, loves to win. So I want to spin this to you, Bobby, because to me, as you mentioned, it comes down to Wiggins and Kuminga, but especially Kuminga. Kuminga averaged 16 points per game coming off of a career year. What is the best way Golden State can look to their outcome as using Kuminga's contract or either his play for them to be able to draw the right amount of talent for Steph to feel good?
Well, I think that October 21st date comes into play. If there's an extension for Jonathan Kuminga, I would say we take him off the board as far as a trade candidate, just because of the restrictions that come with it. And I think it's similar to LeBron James in Los Angeles. When you have the Babe Ruth of basketball on your roster, you have to maximize that right now. And Golden State tried. When you look at Paul George from this summer, Larry Markin, we can even go back to the trade deadline with LeBron James when they kind of dipped their toe in the water a little bit there.
Right.
They've tried, but we've always said, hey, it takes two to tango, and you've got to find that dance partner to get that next star in Golden State. I think it's the little toe perk.
Well, but the question too, Bobby, what's the saying, the Yoda, there is no try, only do. At some point, Steph has to say, okay, trying is good, but I need to see the results here because time is ticking.
The Golden State Warriors have made one of the biggest decisions of the NBA offseason. We've all seen what Steph Curry can do on his own, but with Buddy Hield, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and Draymond Green on his side, he can do even more damage. Could this be the most dangerous version of the Warriors we've seen in years, and why should the rest of the NBA be frightened this season? Let's have a closer look. First up is Stephen Curry, the point guard maestro. The major question has always been why Steph Curry still dominates the NBA. He's the undisputed three-point shooting champion, having transformed the contemporary NBA with his unlimited range and extraordinary ball-handling abilities. But Curry is more than simply the league's top shooter. He's a basketball genius who utilizes his intelligence as much as his shooting skill to break down defenses. And the other guy who everyone is waiting to see shoot this season is Buddy Hield. Why is Buddy Hield's skill set, particularly his three-point shooting and off-ball movement, a perfect fit for the Warriors' offensive system? Shooting has always been a strong suit for the Warriors. And in Buddy Hield, they've discovered one of the finest pure shooters in the NBA today. Hield isn't just excellent at shooting threes, he's extraordinary. Last season, he was among the best three-point shooters, shooting 42% from outside the arc. In today's NBA, when space is crucial, a player like Hield can elevate a solid offense to incredible heights. And another key player everyone's counting on for Golden State's success this season is Andrew Wiggins. Every championship team needs a player like Andrew Wiggins, someone who can do it all, but doesn't need the limelight to succeed. Wiggins has accepted his position in Golden State, transitioning from a prolific scorer in Minnesota to a two-way threat for the Warriors. He may not generate headlines like Steph Curry, but make no mistake. Wiggins is one of the most crucial players on this squad. Another breakout talent to watch closely in this lineup is Jonathan Kuminga, who's quickly making a name for himself. Jonathan Kuminga is one of the NBA's most fascinating young players, and the Warriors want him to take the next step in his growth this season. As a 6 feet 8 inches forward with exceptional agility, Kuminga has the potential to be a game changer for Golden State, both offensively and defensively. Last season, we saw glimpses of Kuminga's potential. He is a versatile defender who can cover numerous positions, and his agility enables him to make plays that few other players can. Whether it's blocking shots, getting rebounds, or switching to smaller guards, the Warriors will seek to use Kuminga's defensive talents more this season. Closing out our lineup today is Draymond Green, the heartbeat of Golden State's defense and leadership on the court. His leadership is irreplaceable. Draymond Green may not produce eye-popping stats, but his effect on the game extends well beyond the stat sheet. He's the Warriors' emotional leader, setting the tone on both sides of the court. Green has a very high basketball IQ, and his ability to organize the Warriors' defense and offense makes him one of the league's most useful players. Green is a defensive genius. He serves as the Warriors' defensive anchor, controlling traffic, communicating with colleagues, and ensuring that everyone is in the proper position. His ability to guard several positions, along with his exceptional anticipation and tenacity, makes him one of the NBA's finest defenders. Green's defensive presence, whether switching onto guards, defending the rim, or collecting vital rebounds, is critical to Golden State's success. This combination makes the Golden State Warriors one of the most formidable teams in the NBA. But the rest of the league might have an even bigger problem on their hands if everything falls into place for this team. So check out this breakdown, where I will show you exactly why the Warriors could be on the verge of their next great chapter in NBA history.